The economy is straight up bending you over, like straight up bending you over, like the Gen Z job crisis video by Tokimon. Let's get into this video, man.
Pretty much everybody in human history has had a job. From people in the Great Depression working the coal mines for a bowl of stew, all the way to the first humans on Earth. I bet the person who discovered fire was making a crazy amount of money doing it as a side hustle. Making your own money is just something that you're gonna have to do eventually in your life. From pretty much the moment you graduate high school, you're hit with a pretty hard reality. You could either A, become a bum and live at your parents' house until you're 45 years
That sounds like a wonderful life, actually. Like, just go be a bumper. Just give up. You're cooked regardless. Like, if you go get a job, you're gonna realize they're not paying you enough. But if you don't have a job, at least you don't have to realize they're not paying you enough. So, like, just go be a bumper. Just, it's useless to try. Just give up, right? It is what it is.
B, go to college or university, some sort of secondary education, and hope to start a flourishing career. Or C,
Hope to.
no matter what ending you decide to choose, provided it's not C, there's a pretty big chance that
Or
sometime in
C.
your life you're gonna have to do something
No, no, like he was kidding. Never choose C.
to choose, provided it's not C. There's a pretty big chance that sometime in your life you're gonna have to do something that nobody wants. You're gonna have to get a job.
Oh my gosh, what a, I think like something broke inside of me hearing that J word.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just the hard truth. Nobody wants to get a job, but unfortunately, that's just what has to be done. Gen Z is just gonna go on and join the working class, much like the generations before us, and get a 9 to 5. You just gotta get a job and give up on your dreams.
Bruh, that's crazy. Like, can you imagine? You're probably like, I can't really guess how old you likely are, but if you're not like finished with high school or whatever, secondary, whatever it is in your side of the world, like, can you imagine you're gonna work someday? You're gonna be the people that are like always going to work every day, going to the same job for years and years. You, like, not you're already working. Like, can you imagine? How does that feel? Let us know in the comments down below. How does it feel to like have a job day to day that you wake up to go to and get your own money? It's crazy.
Or do you? You see, Gen Z is completely different from any past generation. While
Hmm.
other groups like Millennials, Gen X, or the old people had a much easier time finding jobs, we're not really in the same boat whatsoever. In fact, the employment rate for Americans aged 16 to 24 years old is only 10.5%. That's only double the amount of old people enough to be in retirement. Meanwhile, the unemployment for Gen Z is the highest it's ever been, with 96.7% of people being completely. I just made that up. I have no idea. In reality,
I was like, yo, that's crazy. 90%. I was about to think, like, that's just some people who gave up, who just stopped trying. 90, bro? Or maybe AI could have taken over to that extent. Who knows?
it's a lot closer to 15%, and that's the amount of people who end up going to apply for a job and they're just told to scram and get kicked out to the side of the curb. I don't
Mm.
really think this is just the fault of one specific issue that's causing younger generations not to achieve work. I think it's a variety of different problems that just sort of accumulate all at once, and they almost fit like puzzle pieces. One thing that definitely affects the desire for younger generations to go out and look for an aspiring career is old people constantly reminding them how lazy they are.
Mm.
Hey dude, no, it's not at all laziness, although that's definitely part of it to a certain extent.
It kind of is, but like, also, the thing is, if you're always being told you're a piece of shit, you're likely to end up believing that you actually are a piece of shit.
And it's brain dead just to say that's the sole reason. A big part of it is competition. Competition to get a job is so unbelievably high. It's so much more competitive for Gen Z to actually find
Yeah, because you're also competing with robots, bruh. AI shit.
an entry level job because now you're not just competing against young people between the ages of 15 to 25 years old anymore.
Mm.
Nah, now you got 16-year-olds and 40-year-olds fighting for a cashier position at Walmart. So many people during lockdown ended up getting laid off and just never went back to their job. And now that everything is progressively getting more and more expensive, it's just getting harder and harder to find a job, especially when you're just getting into the workforce. That
Mm.
being said, let's say you aspire for something more than just a typical service job. Let's say that you really do go to some sort of secondary education, whether it be college or university. You spend tens of thousands of dollars on putting yourself into debt with student loans. After years of hard work and finally graduating with multiple degrees, there's still no guarantee that you're even gonna end up finding a job in the first place. Competition is just
And don't let the fear of not having a job stop you from getting your degree, bruh. Get your degree and like just stay hopeful that you're probably gonna get a job. You're probably not, but like just stay hopeful that you are gonna get a job.
way too high at this point, and entry level jobs are significantly harder to get hired for now than they were 50 years ago. Way
Mm.
back in the day, it seems like you were able to apply for almost any single job you could have imagined with little to no experience. You could have been stinky, a high school dropout, a bum, and yet still
This nigga said you could have been stinky.
you somehow would have gotten a call back saying
He said that shit like it's a disease. It kind of is though. Like, why are you walking around with an odor?
that you're hired. Now? You could graduate from Harvard with 5 master's degrees and a PhD under your belt, a certificate saying that you personally rebuilt a village in the middle of the jungle, and you'll still get a letter back saying, "Dearest reader, we greatly appreciate your consideration for this role. Unfortunately, due to lack of experience and education, your skills are nowhere near what we're looking for, and we've decided to move
Unfortunately,
forward with other applicants. Sincerely, the McDonald's down the street."
bruh, bruh.
And this is the case over and over and over again for some people. Even when I was 15 or 16 years old, finding a job was still relatively hard, and I knew tons of my friends just weren't able to find one no matter how hard they tried. Out of both of the jobs that I have, one of them I worked at a Goodwill-like store, and the second one I worked at a Marshall's. I'm pretty convinced that the only reason I got either of those cashier jobs is because I knew people who were employed there and put in a good word for me. I remember when
Mm.
I got to Marshall's for the interview, there were like
Moral of the story: build connections, but have connections. That's the only way to win in life. Be connected everywhere. Otherwise, you're cooked, completely cooked, deep fried, and everything.
5 other people in front of me, and they were all significantly older, and they chose to hire the worst possible option, me. If I didn't know somebody who worked there, there is no
Bruh,
way I would have gotten that job.
bruh, can you imagine these significantly older people probably needed to like pay serious bills and this kid just wanted to buy like something for his game or something? Build connections, bro.
How do I know? Because I applied
Don't hit the player, hit the game, I guess.
for that exact same
Hmm.
cashier position like 7 different times. Listen, dude, the truth is, it's just significantly harder for almost anyone to find a job now due to higher competition. And the worst part is, it's just gonna keep getting worse in the future. Oh, why is that, I hear you ask, as you sit there slurping your instant ramen? Because now, people aren't only competing against other humans, sooner than later, you're gonna be competing against a bag of bolts.
Exactly.
Imagine losing your job to a stupid clan robot. I would be livid. The
That nigga said, "True a stupid clear robot. Clear, like clear robot."
first thing that this is obviously going to happen to is customer service jobs. I would not be surprised if in 10 years from now, it'd be considered hard to find an actual human employee working inside of a fast food establishment. Hold on.
Nah, bro, I don't think they should do the AI customer service thing because the can you imagine having to speak to a robot? Wouldn't that freak you out? Like me personally, bro, like I would feel freaked out having to like tell a robot that hey, I want this and this and this, and the robot responds like, "What do you do? Do you greet a robot? Like, do you say hi, or do you just be like, I want some this, this, and this, and number two, and number four, and a number and half of a number three, and it'll just do that? Do you greet it? how does the conversation between a human and a robot go, bro? I just feel like adding robots like that just isn't necessary, bro. Like just let humans have jobs.
Wait, guys, this is happening sooner than expected. The robot takeover is already here. Almost half the time I
Mm.
pull up into some drive-through, I'm greeted with a robot voice, and sometimes it takes me a while to process
What side of the planet is he on,
that it's not human. So when I finally realize it's automated, I sit there like an idiot.
bro?
Hello, I hope you're doing fantastic. How can I help you today?
Thanks for being so high energy. I'm having a really bad day today. I just need somebody to talk.
Are you a member of our points program?
Oh, I think it's
Bro.
pretty much common knowledge that this is just going to keep happening, and if it weren't already obvious, these big corporations could not give less of a about how it'll ruin the job market. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
time, if the big
Oh yeah, they just wanna like not pay people as much as they possibly can and just have lots of money. That's their main aim, bro.
billionaire boss at the top sees an opportunity to save 70 cents on his company, but it means that he has to fire every single one of employees and replace them with 2 robots, well, chances are the robot just got the job, even if it's significantly less efficient. The
Mm.
CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, is without surprise very supportive of this because he'll just keep making money. This mother goes on interviews and talks about how excited he is for the future of AI and its involvement in the workforce. It's pretty easy for you to state your excitement when you're sitting on $2 billion in the bank.
Yeah.
The kind of jobs go away, totally change what.
Like if you're a billionaire, bro, you have to not like people to some kind of an extent. Like, what do you need a billion dollars for? Billion, like a whole billion, like more than one. He has two of those, bruh. Giving me $1 billion, I'm not working again. I'm not even like trying to hoard that money, bro. I'm actually like having $1 billion, bro. Dollars, billion. Pretty sure I would start like some kind of a job thing where people can actually work and make a living for themselves. Having $1 billion, and this nigga is like, I'm gonna make robots and then I'm gonna have even more money and make actual human beings that are people that are alive not have money so I can have even more money. Billionaires hate people, bro.
Whatever. I'm not afraid of that at all. In fact, I think that's good. I think that's the way of progress, and we'll find new and better jobs.
Brother, what do you mean we are gonna find new and better jobs? You couldn't care less if AI is gonna create new jobs for people. All you care about is being the first one to turn society into a
Mm,
mindless robot dystopian hellscape as fast as possible so that way you can continue to get rich. This
bro.
dude could do nothing but and eat gold-covered Wagyu steak every day for the rest of his life, and he would still have $1.99 billion left to his name. You don't have
Bro.
to worry about anything for the rest of your life, so of course you're happy that big corporations are getting more involved with AI. They're just gonna keep funding his toilet paper of $100 bills. And one career line that I think seems to be a little bit safer than anything to do with tech is becoming a blue-collar worker. That's right, working like a dog day and night. Working on construction sites, working with pipes, electrical wiring, this entire line of work is something that a lot of younger people have been getting into because it's a relatively good paying job and at least as of right now, it doesn't seem like it'll get impacted by AI. The only issue with it is
Mm,
these jobs are pretty much exploiting what the human body is physically capable of. I've seen so many videos of like construction workers' hands. Bro, that is a brick. This is just me personally, but I
bro, can you imagine if you're a guy and you have a partner, so you're gonna have to hold them with these rough brick calluses of hands. Can you imagine how that makes them feel, bruh? Like, even I don't work blue collar works, but like, if you look at my hands, like they have a little bit of calluses on them, and like, bruh, I feel so sad if I have to like touch things that require care with these hands because like bruh, I'm scratching people, bruh. Like a handshake, I'm scratching you, bruh. Like if I'm laughing with you and I'm tapping your shoulder, like nigga, I'm leaving skid marks on your body. So like, can you imagine now you're an adult, you have a partner, and so like sometimes you gotta be delicate with them or something. Maybe like you know, I don't know what people do, bruh. Like all I'm saying is like you have a partner, so you're like, oh honey, and like, bro, that brick hand of yours is just leaving their skin gray or something, bruh. Damn,
Would much
man,
rather get paid 25 cents an hour and some belly button lint than work my hands until my fingers look like Italian sausages dipped in cement. Go ahead,
bruh.
call me soft hands or pretty princess. Make fun of me for using shampoo and
But personally, though, I would work in construction. I think, nah, I would work in construction, bro. If like I had to, I would.
conditioner instead of in fast orange hand cleaner that doubles as car wash soap. These people are brave enough to work with heavy machinery or electrical wiring for 17 hours a day. Meanwhile, I'm too scared to
Se-
press the
Working 17 hours a day, okay, no, never mind. I'm gonna collapse during that job, bro. Like 17 hours of work. When do you eat? I'm not really like concerned about sleep. I'm checking of like when do you eat if you're working 17 hours a day? And how much, bruh? I would be destroying the fridge having to work 17 hours a day, bruh. Even working for like 2 to 3 hours, I have to consume an egregious amount of food, bruh. 17 hours, bruh.
crosswalk button when there's oncoming traffic because I don't want to be annoying. Bro, some of these people are on the construction site at like 4:30 in the morning and not coming home until 7 p.m. By the time they're on their lunch break at 1 p.m., some people are just waking up and getting ready to do a whole lot of nothing the entire day. Like, listen, dude, there's nothing I love more than watching YouTube and eating hot fries all day. But
Hmm.
how the do you have absolutely no ambition to do anything? At least try to do anything. The thing is, if you're able to score a job, half the time you're getting paid to do practically nothing. If you get hired as a store associate somewhere, I'm being so for real, 50% of the job is just being bored and waiting for something to do. When I worked at Marshall's, there used to be this position called general maintenance, and all you would do is wheel around this rickety old janitor's cart and keep things clean. But instead, what most people would do is put up a sign saying the bathroom was closed for cleaning, and then you'd lock yourself in there and scroll on your phone for the entire
Hmm.
shift. And I know I'm not alone in this. There are people on TikTok
So that's why we can't use all these public toilets. These people are, bruh, these people. Actually, I actually have experience of this. Like, I was at a mall this one time. I got there. There was just this cleaning sign, and this nigga was just standing there, not doing anything. I was like, "Yo, bro, can I get in?" He was like, "Yeah, sure." And I'm just there, like, oh, why did he put the sign of like cleaning if he's just chilling over there? He was just chilling there, bro, and like, I think some other employees were coming by, and he was just chopping it up with them, and I was like. Okay, at least I got to use the bathroom though. But I guess I see what's up. He was like, I'm gonna pretend to be busy. I'm gonna make it look like I'm busy, even though he's just chilling over there and chopping it up with some other employees, bro.
posting videos about how to be a lazy employee. My thing is, if you're already there for 7+ hours, why not just do something? Bro, if you have the opportunity to get paid for doing literally nothing, then you should take it. And yet,
Hmm.
after all this, old people will still call younger generations ungrateful or lazy.
I kind of feel like even in the construction thing, I do feel like those people work a long time, but they don't make the amount of progress that they should like based on the hours they're working. Like, bruh, I'm telling you, these people like I'm pretty sure they drag this thing out so like they can wait to get the next contract. So like they're like, immediately after this, we're going to the next contract and we're gonna drag that shit out as well. So like the longer they work, the more they keep getting paid each month. And like, yeah, bro.
For not getting a real job. Like, I'm sorry, how the am I lazy for not replicating your perfect picture life and success all before I turned 23 years old? That's not even me just pulling random word sandwiches out of nowhere. In 1960, the average age where American adults would successfully buy a home was 23 years old. 23 years old? Man, what the fuck? I'm 21 years old and I barely know how to do real grocery shopping.
Yeah, in 2020, in the 2020s, the average age of buying yourself a house is probably never, maybe like 50, 40 something or 50 something, but like probably never for a lot of people, unfortunately, mostly in America. I don't know about where I'm from because I don't really, people aren't really crying about, I don't have a house on where I'm from. So like, I'm assuming that's America. Y'all are cooked in America. Where I'm from, we're kind of less cooked than y'all. So peace be upon y'all, bro. That's crazy.
Expect people to
I
buy
think
a whole
I think this video is over.
house before their hairline starts receding or before they have kids. Meanwhile, a pint of strawberries costs $12.99?
Hmm.
Yeah, alright. I'll totally make sure to get on that. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to.
Right. That's the end of the video. America, y'all are cooked. Us, we're still cooked, but less than y'all. Y'all are completely cooked, like all types of cooked. Basically, what's happening here is that like the economy is straight up bending you over, like straight up bending you over. Like, thank you for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Share your thoughts in the comments down below. Peace out.